In the heart of ancient Greece, a young man named Narcissus captured the attention of all who crossed his path. With beauty that could rival the gods, he enchanted every soul around him. But what happens when adoration turns to obsession? Picture a tranquil pool, reflecting not just the sky, but also the haunting gaze of a young man entranced by his own image. How far will one go in the pursuit of self-love? As we delve into Narcissus's tragic fate, imagine the whispers of the nymph Echo, her heart breaking as she longs for a love that will never be returned. Can beauty alone sustain a life? Or does it lead to a path of isolation and despair? Think about the consequences of vanity. What happens when the reflection in the water becomes more captivating than reality? The story of Narcissus is more than just a myth. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of excessive self-obsession. As we explore the depths of his downfall, keep your eyes peeled for the lessons hidden within the tragedy. Buckle up, because the journey through this ancient tale will challenge your understanding of love, beauty, and the very essence of self. Greek mythology, the origin of Narcissus. In the rich tapestry of Greek mythology, the story of Narcissus unfolds as a cautionary tale about the perils of excessive self-love. Narcissus, a strikingly handsome young man, captured the attention of many, but it was his own reflection in the water that ultimately ensnared him. The myth begins with the involvement of the gods, particularly the nymph Echo. Echo, once a beautiful nymph, fell deeply in love with Narcissus. However, her love was unreciprocated, and this disparity set the stage for the tragic events that followed. The connection between Narcissus and Echo reveals much about the nature of love and desire in Greek mythology. Echo was cursed by Hera to only repeat the words of others, limiting her ability to express her feelings to Narcissus. This curse illustrates the theme of communication barriers in relationships, emphasizing how love can be thwarted by circumstances beyond one's control. The gods in these myths often play pivotal roles, reflecting human emotions and conflicts in divine scenarios. Moreover, the tale is rich with symbolism, as it reflects the intersection of beauty and tragedy. Narcissus, while admired for his beauty, is ultimately a victim of his own vanity. The gods, in their omnipotence, weave a narrative that serves as a reminder of the consequences of neglecting the feelings of others. The intertwining of their fates, the beautiful Narcissus and the heartbroken Echo, sets the stage for a poignant exploration of desire, loss, and the consequences of self-obsession. As we delve deeper into the myth, we uncover the implications of Narcissus's actions on a broader scale. His inability to recognize and appreciate the love that was offered to him by Echo leads to a singular fate: his fixation on his own reflection. This story not only serves as entertainment, but also as a moral lesson about the dangers of vanity and self-involvement. Narcissus becomes a symbol of how unchecked pride can lead to isolation and despair, themes that resonate through time. In essence, the origin of Narcissus's story within Greek mythology is a complex interplay of beauty, love, and tragedy. It invites readers to reflect on the nature of desire and the consequences of a self-centered existence. The myth serves both as a narrative of personal downfall and a broader commentary on human relationships, making it a timeless piece of literature that continues to inspire and caution. The myth of Narcissus, the classic narrative of Narcissus, begins with his unparalleled beauty, which draws the admiration of everyone around him. However, Narcissus remains indifferent to their affections, embodying the archetype of the self-absorbed individual. One fateful day, while wandering in the woods, he comes across a serene pool of water. As he gazes into the water, he is captivated by his own reflection, unable to tear himself away from the image staring back at him. This moment marks the beginning of his tragic downfall. As he admires his reflection, Narcissus becomes consumed by an overwhelming sense of love for himself. This self-admiration blinds him to the world around him, including the desperate love of Echo. The story takes a darker turn as Narcissus's fixation on his reflection leads to his eventual demise. He becomes so entranced that he fails to eat or drink, ultimately succumbing to the allure of his own image. This transformation from admiration to obsession serves as a poignant illustration of the destructive potential of vanity. The myth serves as a narrative exploration of the fine line between self-love and narcissism. While it is natural to appreciate one's own beauty, Narcissus takes this admiration to an extreme, losing touch with reality and the people who care for him. This tragic flaw highlights the psychological dangers of excessive self-focus, a theme that resonates with contemporary discussions about self-image and mental health. Furthermore, the myth of Narcissus is often interpreted as a cautionary tale about the importance of balance and self-perception. It suggests that while self-love can be empowering, it can easily morph into a destructive obsession if left unchecked. The consequences of Narcissus's actions serve as a reminder that losing oneself in the pursuit of personal validation can lead to isolation and despair. Through the lens of the myth, we are invited to reflect on our own relationships with self-image and the importance of recognizing and valuing the love and support from others. The story of Narcissus transcends time, offering insights into the human condition that remain relevant in today's society. Symbolism of narcissism. The term narcissism has evolved from its mythological roots into a psychological concept that encapsulates a range of behaviors and attitudes. At its core, narcissism refers to an excessive preoccupation with oneself, often accompanied by a lack of empathy for others. This psychological perspective builds on the foundational narrative of Narcissus, illustrating the broader implications of self-obsession in modern society. In psychological terms, narcissism can manifest in various ways, from a need for constant validation to an inflated sense of self-importance. Individuals who exhibit narcissistic traits often seek affirmation from others, relying on external validation to bolster their self-worth. This need for approval can lead to a cycle of dependency, where the individual's sense of identity is anchored in the perceptions of others, much like Narcissus's fixation on his reflection. The implications of narcissism extend beyond personal relationships and into societal structures. In a culture that often prioritizes individualism and self-promotion, the traits associated with narcissism can become more pronounced. Social media platforms serve as modern-day mirrors, where individuals curate their images and seek validation through likes and comments. This phenomenon raises questions about the balance between healthy self-expression and the potential for self-absorption. Moreover, the psychological analysis of narcissism emphasizes the importance of empathy in human interactions. Individuals who are excessively focused on themselves often struggle to connect with others on a deeper emotional level. This lack of connection can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, echoing the fate of Narcissus, who, in his self-absorption, alienated those around him, including Echo. Ultimately, the symbolism of narcissism serves as a mirror reflecting the complexities of human behavior. By examining the psychological implications of this term, we gain insights into the delicate balance between self-love and self-absorption. The legacy of Narcissus continues to resonate, urging individuals to cultivate a sense of self that honors both personal worth and the value of relationships with others. Echo, in the tragedy of unrequited love. The relationship between Narcissus and Echo is one of the most poignant aspects of this myth. Echo, a beautiful nymph, falls hopelessly in love with Narcissus, but her affection is met with indifference. This unrequited love is a central theme in their narrative, illustrating the pain and despair that can accompany such feelings. Echo's tragic fate is intertwined with that of Narcissus, as she embodies the consequences of loving someone who cannot reciprocate. Echo's curse, imposed by Hera, restricts her ability to communicate freely, leaving her unable to express her true feelings to Narcissus. This inability to articulate her love highlights the barriers that often exist in relationships, particularly when one party is unable or unwilling to recognize the affections of the other. The tragedy is compounded by Echo's despair as she watches Narcissus fall in love with his own reflection, a love that leaves no room for her presence. The myth serves as a powerful commentary on the nature of love and the heartbreak that can arise from unreciprocated feelings. Echo embodies the archetype of the lover who sacrifices her own needs for the sake of someone who cannot appreciate her. This dynamic not only underscores the pain of unrequited love, but also highlights the importance of mutual recognition and appreciation in relationships. As Echo fades away, her essence transforms into mere echoes of sound, symbolizing the loss of identity that can accompany unreciprocated love. This transformation serves as a metaphor for the way unreturned affection can diminish an individual's sense of self, leading to a profound sense of loneliness. In the end, both Narcissus and Echo suffer from their inability to connect with one another, emphasizing the tragic consequences of love that goes unacknowledged. In exploring the relationship between Narcissus and Echo, we are prompted to consider the complexities of love, desire, and communication. Their tragic story serves as a reminder of the importance of recognizing and valuing the affections of others, as well as the profound impact that unrequited love can have on the human experience. Consequences of Vanity. The story of Narcissus serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of vanity. In reflecting on this myth, one can discern the profound message that excessive self-love can lead to dire consequences. Narcissus, consumed by his own beauty, becomes so entranced by his reflection that he neglects all else, including relationships with others. This behavior highlights a fundamental truth. When one becomes overly focused on oneself, they risk alienating those around them. The people who once admired Narcissus were left in his shadow, illustrating how vanity can create a chasm between individuals. Moreover, the narrative underscores the notion that vanity often leads to self-destruction. Narcissus' inability to tear himself away from his reflection ultimately results in his demise. This tragic end serves as a poignant reminder that the pursuit of superficial beauty can be a double-edged sword. As individuals strive to maintain their image or status, they may inadvertently forsake their mental and emotional well-being. The myth encourages us to reflect on our own lives. Are we, too, caught in a cycle of self-admiration that blinds us to the richness of genuine connections? In a broader societal context, the consequences of vanity are evident in contemporary culture. The obsession with appearance, often exacerbated by social media, creates unrealistic standards that many feel pressured to meet. This relentless pursuit of an idealized self can lead to anxiety, depression, and a sense of isolation. Just as Narcissus became entrapped by his reflection, individuals today may find themselves ensnared by their curated online personas. The story of Narcissus reminds us that while self-love is important, it must be balanced with humility and an appreciation for the people in our lives. The myth also serves as a commentary on the fleeting nature of beauty. Narcissus' allure was, after all, temporary, as is all physical beauty. The lesson here is that an overemphasis on external appearances can lead to disappointment and loss. When the inevitable decline in beauty occurs, those who have built their identity solely around their looks may find themselves unmoored and unfulfilled. This cycle of vanity can create a life devoid of deeper meaning, prompting reflection on what truly matters in life. Finally, the consequences of vanity extend beyond the individual to society as a whole. When collective values prioritize appearance over substance, the community suffers. Relationships become superficial, and true empathy and connection diminish. Narcissus' story encourages us to cultivate a culture that values authenticity and deeper connections over mere appearances. By doing so, we can break the cycle of vanity and foster a more compassionate society, ultimately learning from the tragic fate of Narcissus. Artistic representations. The myth of Narcissus has left an indelible mark on the arts throughout history, inspiring countless works in literature, painting, and sculpture. This fascination speaks to the timeless nature of the story and its ability to resonate with audiences across generations. Artists have often utilized the theme of Narcissus to explore complex human emotions, particularly those surrounding love, desire, and self-perception. Through various mediums, the narrative has been reinterpreted, providing fresh insights into the human condition. In literature, numerous authors have drawn upon the Narcissus myth to delve into the intricacies of self-love and obsession. For instance, the theme of unrequited love is prevalent in many modern retellings, where characters grapple with their own reflections, both literal and metaphorical. The exploration of identity and the quest for validation often takes center stage, echoing the original tale's core themes. Such narratives prompt readers to reflect on their own relationships with self-image and the impact of societal expectations. In visual arts, painters have been captivated by the image of Narcissus gazing into the water. The symbolism of the lake as a mirror has been interpreted in various ways, from the representation of vanity to a deeper exploration of self-awareness. Renowned artists such as Caravaggio and Gustave Moreau have created stunning renditions that capture the moment of Narcissus' tragic realization. These artworks invite viewers to engage with the emotional weight of the story, provoking questions about the nature of beauty and the human experience. Sculpture, too, has embraced the theme of Narcissus, with artists conveying the tension between beauty and tragedy through form and material. Statues depicting Narcissus often capture the moment of his gaze, frozen in time as he becomes entranced by his reflection. This artistic representation serves as a poignant reminder of the consequences of vanity, inviting contemplation on the fragility of existence and the perils of self-obsession. The physicality of sculpture allows for a tangible exploration of the themes embedded in the myth, creating a sensory experience for the observer. Across all artistic forms, the myth of Narcissus continues to inspire contemporary creators who find new ways to reinterpret and engage with its themes. Whether through modern poetry, digital art, or immersive installations, the legacy of Narcissus remains relevant. As society grapples with issues of identity, self-worth, and the impact of social media, the story serves as a backdrop for critical reflection on our relationship with self and others. Ultimately, the enduring presence of Narcissus in the arts underscores its significance as a lens through which we can examine the complexities of human nature. Psychological interpretations. The figure of Narcissus has long captivated the field of psychology, particularly within the realm of psychoanalysis. Narcissus is often viewed as an archetype representing the struggle between self-love and self-destruction. This duality invites deep exploration into the nature of the ego and identity. The story of Narcissus serves as a metaphor for the human experience, where the quest for validation and self-worth can sometimes lead to unhealthy patterns of behavior. Psychoanalysts have utilized the myth to illustrate the phenomena of narcissism and its impact on interpersonal relationships. The term narcissism itself has evolved from the mythological narrative into a psychological concept that describes individuals who exhibit an excessive preoccupation with themselves. This preoccupation often manifests as a lack of empathy for others, as the narcissist becomes trapped in their own world of self-admiration. The myth thus serves as a potent reminder that an inflated sense of self can alienate individuals from meaningful connections. Furthermore, the psychological interpretations of Narcissus extend to the exploration of identity formation. The quest for self-discovery is central to the human experience, and Narcissus' fixation on his own reflection symbolizes the struggle to construct a cohesive sense of self. As individuals navigate their identities, they may grapple with external influences and societal expectations, much like Narcissus, who was unable to see beyond his own beauty. This journey toward self-awareness and acceptance is fraught with challenges, and the myth highlights the importance of balance and self-perception. The myth also invites discussions around the implications of love and desire in the context of the self. Narcissus' inability to engage with Echo, who represents external love and connection, underscores the dangers of prioritizing self-love at the expense of interpersonal relationships. This tension between self-adoration and the need for connection is a recurring theme in psychological discourse, as individuals often wrestle with the desire for validation from both themselves and others. The story serves as a cautionary tale about the potential for self-obsession to hinder authentic relationships. In contemporary psychology, the legacy of Narcissus continues to inform discussions around mental health and self-image. The rise of social media and the culture of comparison amplify the themes present in the myth, as individuals seek validation through likes and followers. By examining the psychological implications of the Narcissus myth, we gain valuable insights into the complexities of self-identity, the quest for validation, and the nuances of human relationships. Thus, the tale of Narcissus remains relevant as we navigate the challenges of modern existence, offering a framework for understanding the interplay between self and society. Modern parables, the Narcissus myth and contemporary phenomena in today's world. The myth of Narcissus resonates more than ever, particularly through the lens of social media and the pervasive culture of self-image. Individuals often find themselves caught in a cycle of self-admiration, mirroring Narcissus's tragic flaw of excessive self-love. This phenomenon is evident across various platforms where users curate their lives to project an idealized version of themselves. The likes, shares, and comments serve as modern echoes of the validation Narcissus sought from his reflection. Consequently, this obsession with image can lead to a distorted sense of self-worth, where one's value becomes inextricably linked to external approval. Moreover, the rise of influencers exemplifies the complexities of contemporary narcissism. Many influencers carefully craft their online personas to capture attention and admiration, often sacrificing authenticity for popularity. This creates a paradox where the pursuit of self-affirmation becomes a collective endeavor. Just as Narcissus was entranced by his reflection, individuals today may find themselves entrapped in their screens, seeking validation from a virtual audience. This dynamic raises critical questions about identity and self-perception in an age where the boundaries between reality and curated image blur significantly. The implications extend beyond individual experiences into societal norms and values. The glorification of beauty and perfection, reminiscent of Narcissus's own allure, shapes cultural standards that dictate acceptable forms of self-expression. Aesthetic ideals perpetuated through social media can lead to widespread feelings of inadequacy among those who struggle to meet such standards. As people chase after the unattainable, they may inadvertently lose touch with their authentic selves, echoing Narcissus's tragic fate of self-infatuation that ultimately isolated him from the world around him. Furthermore, the conversation surrounding mental health becomes increasingly relevant when examining these modern parables. The pressure to maintain an enviable online presence can lead to issues such as anxiety and depression, particularly when individuals feel they cannot live up to the curated lives they see. This mirrors the emotional turmoil experienced by Echo, who, in her despair, was left only with her own voice. The story of Narcissus and Echo serves as a poignant reminder that the quest for external validation can lead to profound internal struggles, fostering a culture where genuine connections are sacrificed for fleeting approval. In essence, the myth of Narcissus has evolved into a powerful symbol of contemporary issues surrounding identity, self-worth, and societal expectations. As we navigate this digital landscape, it is crucial to reflect on the lessons embedded within the narrative. By recognizing the parallels between our lives and the ancient tale, we can strive for authenticity in a world that often prioritizes the superficial. The story of Narcissus is not just a relic of the past. It is a cautionary tale that remains relevant in guiding our understanding of self and community in today's society. The lake and the reflection. Symbolism of introspection and true nature. The lake in the Narcissus myth is more than just a setting. It serves as a profound symbol of introspection and self-discovery. When Narcissus gazes into the water, he is confronted not only with his physical beauty, but also with the deeper implications of self-awareness. The stillness of the lake allows for a moment of contemplation, inviting the viewer to reflect on their own identity. In this sense, the lake represents a space where individuals can explore their true nature, free from the distractions of the external world. In contemporary society, this notion of introspection is often overlooked in favor of constant connectivity and outward appearances. Many individuals find it challenging to carve out time for self-reflection amidst the noise of social media and the demands of daily life. The lake, therefore, becomes a metaphor for the need to pause and engage in meaningful self-examination. By taking the time to look beyond the surface, individuals may uncover deeper truths about themselves, akin to Narcissus's moment of realization, albeit with a more positive outcome. Moreover, the allegory of the reflection serves as a reminder of the duality of self-perception. While Narcissus is entranced by his image, the reflection can also symbolize the potential for greater self-awareness. Just as Narcissus's fixation leads to his demise, an obsession with superficial traits can hinder personal growth. However, when approached with intention, the act of looking inward can facilitate a more profound understanding of one's values, desires, and aspirations. This insight can empower individuals to cultivate a sense of self that is rooted in authenticity rather than external validation. In exploring the symbolism of the lake and reflection, it is essential to consider the broader implications for mental health and well-being. Engaging in introspection can lead to enhanced self-esteem and resilience, as individuals learn to appreciate their unique qualities beyond societal standards of beauty. The lake thus transforms into a sanctuary for self-acceptance, encouraging individuals to embrace their imperfections and develop a more compassionate relationship with themselves. Ultimately, the lake and the reflection serve as powerful symbols that invite us to examine our relationship with self-image and identity. By embracing the lessons of the Narcissus myth, we can cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness that transcends the superficial and fosters genuine connections with ourselves and others. Through introspection, we can move beyond the confines of narcissism and engage in a more fulfilling exploration of our true nature. Cultural legacy. Influence of the Narcissus myth on Western culture. The legacy of the Narcissus myth extends far beyond its ancient origins, permeating various facets of Western culture throughout history. From literature to visual arts, the themes of beauty, identity, and self-love have been revisited and reinterpreted, reflecting society's evolving understanding of these concepts. The story of Narcissus serves as a rich source of inspiration, prompting artists, writers, and thinkers to grapple with the complexities of human nature and the perennial quest for self-acceptance. In literature, the myth has inspired countless works that explore the duality of self-love and self-destruction. Poets and novelists often draw parallels between Narcissus's tragic fate and the human experience of longing, desire, and the consequences of excessive self-admiration. The narrative serves as a cautionary tale, prompting readers to reflect on their own relationships with self-image and the inherent dangers of vanity. Authors such as Oscar Wilde in The Picture of Dorian Gray and F. Scott Fitzgerald in The Great Gatsby have echoed the themes of narcissism and its repercussions, illustrating how the pursuit of beauty can lead to moral decay and isolation. In the realm of visual arts, the influence of the Narcissus myth is equally profound. Artists throughout the centuries have depicted Narcissus in various forms, capturing the essence of his beauty and the poignancy of his tragic story. From Caravaggio's striking paintings to contemporary interpretations in photography and digital art, the imagery associated with Narcissus continues to evoke fascination and reflection. These artistic representations often serve to challenge viewers' perceptions of beauty and self-worth, inviting them to question the societal standards that dictate what is deemed attractive. Furthermore, the legacy of Narcissus extends into philosophical and psychological discourses, influencing discussions on identity and self-perception. Thinkers have utilized the myth to explore the nature of the self, examining how narcissism can manifest in individuals and societies alike. The concept of the narcissistic personality has become a focal point in psychology, prompting professionals to analyze the underlying factors that contribute to this phenomenon. The enduring relevance of Narcissus in contemporary discussions about mental health and self-image underscores the importance of understanding the implications of self-obsession in our lives. Ultimately, the cultural legacy of the Narcissus myth serves as a mirror reflecting our own struggles with identity and self-acceptance. By examining the various interpretations and representations of this ancient tale, we can gain valuable insights into the human condition and the complexities of beauty, love, and self-worth. The story of Narcissus continues to resonate, offering timeless lessons that remain pertinent in our quest for understanding and authenticity in an ever-changing world. As we reflect on the tragic fate of Narcissus, we uncover a powerful lesson about the dangers of obsession and the consequences of unrequited love. His story serves as a mirror, inviting us to ponder. How often do we find ourselves lost in our own reflections, consumed by our desires? Narcissus, entranced by his own beauty, ultimately fell victim to loneliness, a fate many fear yet few recognize in themselves. But what if we could learn from his experience? Could this ancient tale guide us in our own lives? Imagine a world where we prioritize connection over vanity, where we seek the beauty in others instead of just within ourselves. This is the essence of empathy, and it's a lesson that resonates through the ages. Now, let's turn the spotlight back to you. Have you ever found yourself caught in a cycle of self-obsession? What steps can you take to cultivate deeper relationships? Remember, the story of Narcissus is not just a myth. It's a timeless reminder to cherish what truly matters. As we close this chapter of Greek mythology, keep these questions in mind. Your journey of self-discovery is just beginning, and the lessons of the past can illuminate your path forward. What will you choose?